Well, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Last day of November. Couldn't see what I saw during the month of November. It's Kingfishers, Water Rail, Merlin, but stick with it. Started off with these two swans, which I thought were getting a bit close and looked a bit nasty, but turns out they were friendly and just wanted to go for a walk with me. Not often you get too close to a swan, but they were too close, but they didn't bother me. Had a quick walk down the canal that day and saw the Canada geese. The usual cormorant sat in its normal place. Strange looking birds. Nice to see the little mouse for a change. And quite a few tits about now. These are obviously blue tits. Seem to be doing well this year. Pied wagtail. Good old robin. They're everywhere at the moment. Cold tits. Blue tits bobbing around all the time, really. They couldn't get enough food, I think. And I thought I'd have a look for kingfisher. Didn't disappoint. On one of its usual perches. While I was waiting for it, this moorhen came up. From a distance I thought it was a water rail, but it was obviously a moorhen. Look at the size of those feet. Then she came close again and stayed with me for a while, but not too long. Bear in mind, these aren't baited birds either. They're just proper genuine wild birds going where they go normally when they're looking for food. We had a slightly different walk from home this morning. Saw the little egrets in a field where I don't normally go to. And then my little roe deer was just popping its head up through the grass. That's how I like to see them, really. Quite often they're in full view, but just popping the head through is nice. It's on the same walk. Grey heron, teal, and robins. Bit of an action shot with the blue tit taking off there. Great tit. Greater spotted woodpecker at the top of a telegraph pole. Seem to like top of telegraph poles. Now this one you probably can't tell, but right in the very centre of that picture there's the kingfisher. That was over 200 yards away from that. I thought I'll stay where I am and I'll see if it comes nearer to me, and it certainly was staying in the trees a lot. Plenty of berries. I was hoping there might be waxwings about, but no luck. And then the moorhen came up again. I wasn't in my usual place on that day. I was a couple of 100 metres away from where I normally am, so it's nice to just see the way the kingfisher flies around, which trees it goes into, which I don't normally see when I'm in my hide, because you've got quite restricted view when you're in your hide. Then the little grebes turned up. Always nice to watch them. They're always dipping under for food, and that proves there's food in there, which is good for the kingfishers as well. Not quite sure what the moorhen's looking for, but kingfisher didn't really come any nearer than that, but it's nice to see. And I've got two little grebes. The strange thing here is the little grebe popped under, and I'm waiting for it popping back up again like it did then. And what should pop up but a water rail. And I haven't seen that for at least 12 months, so it's nice to know they're around in Ulverston. Here we go, water rail, very elusive birds. Not often you see them in the open, so I had quite a good view of this one, but I'm kicking myself because it then walked into the field and was showing itself, but in the long grass. Then it took off and flew, and I didn't get a photograph. And I don't think I've ever seen a picture of a water rail flying, but it flew off into some distant trees. But at least we got some reasonable footage of it. Grey herons, you can always rely on a grey heron or a little egret round our way. And the little roe deer are filling out a bit. They've been eating non-stop, getting ready for winter. Bit of snow about. Chiff chaff. The kingfisher warming its feet on some hand railing. Seems to like that particular place. Then down the canal, the cormorants again. It's obviously been fishing. They sit back on the perch to dry the wings out, dry the feathers out rather. A nice plump robin. And a trip to Kendal. Thought I'd go and see if the dipper's about. And I did see it, but in a very distant shot. But nice to know they're still there. That's a coulter. I'm not sure what's happening with its feathers, but blue tit's very active at the moment. Must have been a good year for them, I think. And I went back to my normal place for the kingfisher, and it didn't disappoint. That's on a perch that's up in a tree, a natural perch, and then it came onto my grotty old perch. Wasn't diving though, it must have already fed, I think. It was just sitting watching. Nice to be so close to them though and just see what the behaviour is. Nice when the sun starts to come up a bit and the colour comes out on them a bit more. Although they're not really in the sun there, it's just a little bit brighter than it was early on. It flew right past me. Turned round, came back. I thought that's enough. I've had 10 minutes with it. This day we had a run out to Hesketh Outmarsh. So I've seen a good video that somebody that I know had posted about raptors. He'd gone on a really poor day and had a fantastic day for seeing raptors, but we were on a beautiful day, never been there before, but everything we saw was distant. There's lots to see, great egrets, little egrets, loads of herons, hundreds of hooper swans, kestrels all over the place. This was the nearest we got to one though, I think. But everything's fenced off, so you can just walk in a in a very straight line for probably about 2 or 3 miles on a big banking that they've manufactured there. But it was a very enjoyable day out, but oh yeah, there was kingfisher up and down as well, yet another female kingfisher. Haven't seen a male one this year at all. I'd say there are loads of ducks, egrets and herons. But then this merlin flew in fantastic to watch the speed it changed direction. And then another one flew in, so you've got a male and a female there on the fence post. But once he landed on the fence post, he just sat there. So we didn't get any more action shots. These are all Hooper swans, hundreds of them. But this particular Hooper, I reckon, had taken itself away from the group to die, possibly because there was quite a few dead Hoopers there that were dead from avian flu. Again, you can see herons everywhere, geese everywhere, pinkfoots. It was a nice change though. Long way to drive, but wasn't too bad. I was being chauffeured. And this is a golden plover. Well worth a visit to that area, other than the last half mile. The road is diabolical. Potholes everywhere. Well, they were linnets. Then back, my last walk of the month, down my usual walk from home. A bit of frost out, the road deer were hiding. This seems to be keeping themselves distant. And there's a couple of buzzards that go down there. They're always very distant. They were a long, long way away. I'll get nearer to them. And then down the canal there's another half dozen roe deer. And this heron just in the reeds there, looking for birds, I think, or frogs. Anyway, that's it for the month. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Please, it's all appreciated. Thanks very much. Bye for now.